Hi, my name's Darken. I'm a concept artist for Mythic Entertainment working on the game Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning, and today I'm just going to take you through my daily process of what I go through in creating a character. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm working in Photoshop, and right now I'm just laying down some big strokes for the background. I also like to use big broad shapes for the character when I start out instead of using any line work. It's just a lot easier for me to think in big shapes, and it's also a lot faster to lay down some big thick strokes instead of any little line work. So right now I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing for the actual character design, so I'm just trying to get some paint down on the canvas so that I can start thinking of, what his design should be, what his pose should be. I'm really roughing things in. I'm a little sketchy with my line work as well. I'm still trying to figure things out, and I usually find things in the chaos of the random scribbles. I also decided to switch back to black and white because I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go with color, and it's a lot faster to just start painting in black and white and worry about color later. Plus I figured it would be a good way to kind of show my process of adding color to black and white. So right now I'm just trying to detail out the face a little bit. I flip my canvas a lot too so I can kind of get a fresh view on things. It also lets me see my errors a lot more easily. As you can see, I'm also working in layers. Usually when I'm doing concepts I use a lot of layers because you may do something that you're not sure of, or you may come up with some armor design that the art director will want you to change. So putting these things on layers allows me to change things a lot more easily. I'm not really feeling the pose right now. I don't think it really shows any of his personality. So I'm just using the warp tool to kind of hunch him over a little bit more so that he looks like a decrepit, skeleton type monster. It always helps to try and add personality into your concept instead of just doing some static pose. Also playing around with the headdress shape. A lot of the Tomb Kings in the lore have this kind of half circular headdress that they wear. So I'm just trying out some different things with that. I'm not really sure if I like it right now. Whenever I'm working on a concept, I also like to resize things a lot and use the distort tool and the warp tool. They're just really easy tools to kind of push your paint around. So as you can see here, I kind of jumped ahead to a different headdress shape. I'm incorporating part of the Tomb King symbol that we came up with in his headdress. I think the birds will add a cool silhouette too. So now I'm just thinking of some details that I could put on him, some bones and some parchment and, little metal rings. I'm still not sure what I want to do with his legs yet. I keep flipping back and forth between that and something I came up with earlier, but I'm not really happy with that yet either. So I'm going to try out some new poses. It's the really cool thing about working digitally is you can try out things very quickly and easily. You can be a little more bold with your approach as well. Try some things out that you normally wouldn't try. Still having some problems with his legs, so I'm just pushing him around a little bit using the distort tool and selecting areas and moving them around. I don't know, his pose seems kind of awkward right now. Sometimes it's best to just start over instead of, continually pushing something that isn't working. Early on in my process, I like to work zoomed out so that I can see the entire canvas. This way I can see the composition and my silhouette more easily, and I don't get bogged down in the little details. You want to save the details for the end. Right now I'm just worrying about the overall design and pose of my character and getting his proportions correct and fixing my drawing errors. His face doesn't really look scary enough, so I'm trying to warp his mouth so that it's, hanging a little askew. I'm also trying to add in some little skin details, kind of like the dried, mummified skin look. I usually like to spend a lot of time on the face since that's usually people's first focal area. You can also really bring a concept to life once you get that face in there and have some kind of personality behind it. Even though I know the model's not going to be this high res and they're not going to be able to get that much detail in the face, it's still fun to kind of bring it to life. Plus it allows other people to get excited about actually creating the model and animating it. I think once people get excited about it, they tend to do better work on it. Even though it looks like I have a lot of brushes in my brush menu, I actually probably only use maybe 2 or 3 brushes for the entire painting. Most of them are actually just Photoshop defaults that I've tweaked a little bit in the brush controls. Most of the time I use just a round brush or this other brush that's kind of a rectangular chalk brush. So here I'm just trying out some stupid little headband with the little scroll on it. It looks kind of silly, so I'm going to delete it.